talked about this, that often I date younger men. And a lot of it is because...
Let's stop on that, folks.
Oh my God.
I suppose there was supposed to be a joke in there somewhere. I guess I must have missed 60 Minutes.
We had a great dinner. We had a great dinner, by the way, where across the table, your husband goes, "But why?" And I said, "Well, maybe because I can."
Yes.
Keep telling yourself that, darling.
This is what I'm saying. Tales from Tracy's.
It's fun. It's really fun to share.
Tracy tale.
Because I had to ask myself that question. I was like, what is this about?
Yeah.
Because I want a partner. And so often, and it's not just that I'm older, I'm also very embodied.
But I figure there's only one thing left to do.
Run.
I am a full, very whole person who knows myself, who is in charge of my life, and who lives a very full, just robust life. So it's not just age, it's like life experience. But I had to ask myself the question, why? Why does this keep sort of coming up other than they're hot and gorgeous? There's that. But a lot of men my age are steeped in a toxic masculinity.
Listen, you ready? Give it, yeah, forgive it.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Love coming at you guys with another video. I hope you guys have been doing well. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, and subscribe button, and so you get a notification every time I drop a new video. I want to thank all my returning subscribers, and let's just get into it. As you guys saw, apparently Michelle Obama has a talk show now. She's got a podcast, and she was interviewing Tracy Ellis Ross. And from that little snippet, you guys can already see Tracy Ellis Ross is yet another typical feminist using the same lingo, the same language. They all read from the same feminist playbook. They all have the same feminist talking points. They have the same perspective. Anytime they are with a man, or they're in any type of relationship with a man, and that man has boundaries and standards, what do they get called? Or we get called, toxic masculinity, controlling, all of the buzzwords that we've heard over and over and over again. So now Tracy Ellis Ross only dates younger men. And I'm going to play this clip. I'm going to finish playing the rest of it. And then, I want you guys to hear what she has to say as to why she only dates younger men. Let's get into it.
A lot of men my age are steeped in a toxic masculinity and have been raised in a culture where there is a particular way that a relationship looks. And anything that starts to smell of that for me, I did enough of it where I was controlled and felt like I was a possession, or whatever those things were, or prize, I have no interest in it, and I will not do it again.
All right. Listen, guys, I'm just going to be blunt and get straight to the point. We have heard these arguments and these talking points over and over and over again. When you hear women say, I don't want to be controlled, that's toxic, or I was treated like I was a possession, blah, blah, blah. We've heard these things over and over again. But you know what? When we talk to the men, when we get the other side of the story, what we typically find out is these women, they want, usually the things that they want freedom to do are things that they have no business doing in the first place, because they're 9 times out of 10, they're things that will increase the likelihood of them putting the relationship that they have with their man in jeopardy. This is what this typically comes down to. Now, I don't give a damn what she said about the reason why she dates younger men. Really what she's telling you, without like coming out and specifically saying the words, the real reason why she's dating younger men is because they're more willing to put up with her bullshit than men her age are. Because men her own age who have the same level or more success than she does, they're not going to stand for that. They're not going to stand for you being disrespectful, doing whatever the hell you want to do, walking all over them, I guess the best way to put it is you're either going to be a lady, you're going to act like a wife, or you're going to kick rocks. Now, a man who's young and dumb and who's not financially on her level, yeah, they'll put up with that stuff because they're going to look at her as, oh, this is Tracy Ellis Ross, the famous Tracy Ellis Ross. She's got fame, she's got status, she's got money, so they're going to let her do this. But we have seen how this stuff ends. We see it all the time. There's a reason why Tracy Ellis Ross, Vivica Fox, Ebony K. Williams, Melissa Ford, Sharon Stone, and a long list of other successful, celebrities, women who have the fame, the money, and the status. Many of them, not only do they not have a man, they've never been married, and they spend the vast majority of their lives without a man. And it's because we live in this society where feminism has done its job. It was not put here to bring about equality for men and women. It really was put here to destroy the family structure, and that's exactly what it's done. What has happened since we've had feminism? What is it? How has feminism affected women? Has it made them better, or has it made them worse? Well, let's look at the facts. Here in 2025, ever since and this is something that's been going on ever since we've had the introduction of birth control, Planned Parenthood, and all of these things that go along with the sexual liberation and freedom of women. What has it done? It's given this so-called choice and so-called freedom that women think that they have now. Here in 2025, they get to sleep around with whoever they want to. They can have as much sex as they want to. They can dress however they want to. They can get divorced for any reason. And they have weaponized the courts, the system of marriage itself, to specifically target men who they find financially attractive. And they'll stay with them for a year or two, whatever the case may be, get a couple of kids, whatever, and then divorce them. Make the selfish choice to wreck their own homes. And they do it under the guise of, what is it? I'm not happy, or we've grown apart, or we have irreconcilable differences. Women have absolutely no duty or honor or purpose on this planet anymore except to serve themselves. And we have seen this over and over again, not just with celebrities, but we see it all the time with this younger generation of women that's out here now. It's really like 2 or 3 generations now, because now you got the mothers who are going to the same clubs as their daughters go to. They're fucking the same men and wearing each other's clothes. This is what's going on in 2025. Yet these women, like Tracy Ellis Ross, they think that they know so much more, they're so much wiser, and they're so much better than the long list of women who came before them. If you guys want to know a preview of what this looks like, what Tracy Ellis Ross is doing and why she's dating younger men, I want to take you guys back to Vivica Fox and 50 Cent when they were dating. Check out this interview with 50 Cent where he was basically telling why he broke up with Vivica Fox.
Dopest thing for me, bro, was hanging out with you. You telling me what you about to do next. And then everything you said you was going to do all happened. I'm going to have a son. Bam. I'm going to do this movie, this production company. Bam. I'm finna do this. Right. Bam. Everything we talked about in the room, it was like, I'm like, okay. It gave me such a all right, this is how you got to get angry.
That's exactly what my experience with what's the name was like with Vivica.
Oh, with Vivica.
She thought I was just saying this stuff like I was overzealous.
Right.
But I had really the plan, like the layout.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm saying, and then
you had the vision.
And then she went off doing stuff that because she didn't
believe
it. Like, and then it was like it felt like the court was dragging the horse.
Right.
And then I had to move away from that because it felt weird.
This is the typical mentality that you run into when you deal with a woman who has money and status. They don't want to follow. They think because they make as much money as a man and they're on the same level as men of high status that they're not going to follow. And so this is the real reason why Tracy Ellis Ross wants to date men that are younger than her, because she wants to be in a position where she can tell them what to do. And it's not even in a man's nature to follow a woman in a relationship. It's not. This whole equality thing, when you talk to women, regardless of what their status is, they want a man who is taller than them. They want a man who makes more money than they do. They want a man who's stronger. All of these things. They still want a man who's going to provide and to protect. Well, if you want a man who's going to provide and protect and who is financially attractive, and that usually comes in the form of he makes more money than you, then you're going to have to follow, because that man definitely isn't going to follow you. I mean, and think about it. Let's just use logic. Everything that women want today, especially women who are in Tracy Ellis Ross's position, everything that they require in a man is something that's better than they are in every way. They're looking for their superior. There's nothing equal about wanting to be with a man who makes more money than you, who's taller than you, who's stronger, and all of that stuff. There's nothing equal about that. You can't have it both ways. Either you want a man who's a leader and you're going to follow, or, I mean, your other alternatives is you can do what Tracy Ellis Ross is doing and date men who are soft and who are not, they're not going to lead. And what she's going to end up doing is going from one relationship to the next, to the next, to the next. She's not going to be in any sustainable, meaningful relationship with the man because she's not willing to follow. And they, you guys heard the typical feminist language that she used. She said she was in a relationship where she felt like she was a possession. She didn't feel like she was, in an equal partnership. And see, this is another thing, another feminist buzzword. Men and women, excuse me, we're not partners. Relationships are not a partnership. It is a dynamic where one person has to lead and the other person has to follow. And, when you go outside of the West, every other nation, the women in these other nations outside of the West, they all understand this, which is why the vast majority of them are in marriages. They're in long-term successful marriages because they know how to follow their man. They understand what their role is as a woman. Last thing I'm gonna say about this is, I'm gonna leave you guys with one of my favorite quotes from Muhammad Ali. And he said, any man that still views the world at 50 years old the same as he saw the world when he was 20 is a man that has basically wasted 30 years of his life. Now, what does this have to do with women like Tracy Ellis Ross, Ebony K. Williams, and Vivica Fox, and all of the so-called boss babes, successful women who think that their money and their degrees are things that men find attractive? Well, I'll tell you what it means. If you're not willing to change, if you are not willing to understand and recognize your own flaws, and basically see where your thought process is not logical, and if you keep going through life that way, I mean, you're going to keep getting the same results. There's a reason why the vast majority of successful women are over 30, over 40, and over 50 years old, etc., who do not have a man, who can't keep a man once they get one. They don't have experience, or they're not in any sustainable, successful relationships. And it has nothing to do with what men need to step up to the plate, what men need to do this and men need to do that. No, that's not what the answer is. If you're not willing to change, if you're not willing to recognize your own flaws, you are not going to grow as a person. You're going to be stuck on a hamster wheel, the hamster wheel of life, and you're not going to get the results that you want. That's pretty much all I got. I'm out. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.
Peanut and me brethren and me not come home. Them take when me peanut, him not come yard. Them a mash up me youth, to tell you the truth, cause them take when me